Okay, so when you're trying to find the area of a regular hexagon with a side length of 10 inches, so first what you need to do is you need to find out the angle measure for the hexagon. So a hexagon will have 6 sides, and the way to find out what the measure of the angle is to use this formula. So n minus 2 times 180 over n. So n is the number of sides. So a hexagon has 6 sides. So to find the measure of this angle, you would do 6 minus 2, which is 4 times 180 over 6. So you can reduce this to be 2 over 3 times 180. 180, that would be 360 over 3, which would basically be 120. So the angle measure is 120 degrees. So we're going to make a little triangle. So if the full angle is 120 degrees and you cut it in half, this is going to be 60 and this is going to be 60. When you make that into another half, you find a 60, that's obviously a 90, so this would be a 30. That's a 30, 60, 90 triangle, so it's a special triangle. So this line is called the apothem, and this line is called the radius. So now we're trying to find what the area is. So what the formula to find the area, it's 1/2 times the apothem times the perimeter of the entire shape. Now that kind of makes sense because if you have the area of this triangle would basically be the apothem times this length, since the side length is 10. Since this is 10, this part, let me use a different thing. This part would be 5. So what we're doing, so to find the area of the full thing, it kind of makes sense that this triangle would basically be 1/2 times 5 times the apothem, and then that 5, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because if you make them all into triangles that is going to be the same size as that, there would be 12 of them times 12, which basically is going to be the apothem times 1/2 times 60, and the perimeter of the whole thing is 60. So that's where you get this formula from. Now going back to finding the actual area of this, so we need the size of the apothem. So right now what we're trying to find is what this apothem is. So this is going to be 60, and this is going to be 30, and this is going to be 90 degrees. So we know that this part is 5, and we know that's 60. So now you use sine, cos, and tan to find what this angle is. I'm going to pause it right now and get my calculator. Okay, so to find the apothem, we know this angle. So how do you find this over this? Well, sine is the opposite over the adjacent. So actually no. We're looking at tan. Sine is actually opposite over hypotenuse, so we're looking at tan. Tan is opposite over adjacent. So this is opposite because it's opposite to that angle, and this is adjacent to it, and that's the hypotenuse. So the tan of 60 is going to be x, this number is going to be x, over 5. So when you put tan of 60 on a calculator, you get that number. Now you know what this number is. This number is going to be that. So how do you get what x is? Well, if you multiply 5 to both of the sides, then it's x would equal 5 times that number. So on your calculator, you just do times 5. And it shows 8.66 whatever. So when you round it, this is going to be 8.7. So now apothem is 8.7, perimeter is 60, and 1/2. So 1/2 times 60, it's 30, so 30 times 8.7. So you still have that number on your calculator, times it by 30, And the answer is going to be 259.8 inches squared.